All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
ReZero, Season 2, Episode 6. Elsa?
Elsa?
Do you wanna find a Beatrice?
Yes, please, yeah.
Yeah. But
And we'll never see her again.
4 years later, the prophecy is fulfilled.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
I'm really glad that she's back because
Me too.
design-wise and voice acting-wise, she was one of the more terrifying aspects of Season 1. Mm-hmm. And given that she wasn't beaten, Reinhard showing up and blah,
Right. Even the big strong man with his big rod that he will use to shoot his magic everywhere, it was able to make her
run away.
She
but
utilized
it did not, the secret technique.
Right, but it did not finish her. So now we're in this situation where back at the mansion, we got a killer. All right, cool. Awesome. Just every time that more stuff happens at the mansion, I get really excited.
Right, because it brings us back into the feeling of where we don't trust everyone anymore.
Well, and it's also this sense of kind of permanence, I feel like, in a show where there's all this time loop, things resetting, what actually sticks. The mansion, there you go.
Yeah, the mansion is something that we can fall back on as an anchor to knowing where and when and how and what.
Right.
That.
We got Subaru's home previously. Now we have sort of the closest thing they have to a home here. And it's not safe right now.
No, it's very much not safe. However, we don't know what Subaru's save point is going to be.
Right.
It could be really far back. It could be really recent.
Hopefully it's not before his original test.
Yes, I would assume it's not.
Right.
But the question is that there's some conversations that he had recently as well that he might want to do over.
That is true.
Because if he knows specific things about them now, then he could ask questions that are more targeted to try and get new information out of them.
Also,
which leads to some very exciting aspects of where Subaru's brain power can be utilized.
So, crazy thought, right? But something that we haven't seen in ReZero before is a save point that was right before the death. And now maybe that's
only
not
gets 30 seconds or something.
Right, or he's at the mansion and it's well shit, what do I do here, right? Maybe that's not the show style because it definitely goes for more of the mystery elements and puzzle solving, but that could be pretty crazy.
Yeah, usually Return by Death puts him back at a place where he has enough time and clues and tools to be able to solve the thing that will get him around the death.
Right, where he's in no imminent danger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
but we will necessarily have the psychological kind, though.
Yes, that is true. That is very true.
So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this now. Oh!
Wait.
Oh, he's back here! Oh!
Gotcha. So did he just finish it? Yeah, I think you might be spot on.
Maybe one witch's magic recognized another's? And it's
Possibly.
let's not bump into that, Oh. Yeah, and he knows this is going to be something that was scary for her, so he's able to quickly comfort her. Oh.
Which could be cool, because then the perfect ending, sort of, the perfect run through this iteration, could also involve Emilia being able to deal with this situation.
Or just getting the most help from Subaru possible.
Right.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
Yes, you do. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She wasn't even able to get through the first one.
Yep.
Okay.
Problematic here.
Oh, yeah. What's with this change?
Ah.
No. I mean, this is a good point. Subaru, you grew a lot as a result of going through the trial because you were able to face the stuff that was back there.
True.
Yeah, well, thankfully he doesn't remember that previous conversation yet.
Yeah.
Are you qualified to stop it?
Well, the question also potentially is with what was going on at the mansion, there's a possibility that the warning about Garfield might not be accurate, too.
Oh.
So we need to figure out, what's going on at the mansion. Okay, yeah.
Let's have another talk.
Let's go on this this path here.
Sure. And Otto.
Yeah.
ロズワール様のお体が万全でない今、そばを離れるのは不安でしかないわね。
正直、勝手に話進められたのは面白くねえが。
Aw.
反対はしねえよ。邪魔しに来られた
I don't think Garfield's that bad of a guy.
Yeah.
ラム、どうした？
バカ話に頭が痛くなった。
Oh! Oh, okay.
Alright. Alright.
そういえば俺に渡すものないのか？ああ？何言ってんだ？
なら、ラムに何か気づか
Whoa.
惚れた女が役目を果たしに行くのよ。
Interesting.
それ。
Oh.
エミリアを頼む。
Okay.
俺が精神誠意謝ってたと伝えてくれ。さっきからやけに浮かない顔だな。
ラムをおとりに投げ飛ばすなんて言っていたでしょ。
You are not that
その
strong.
ことがなぜか妙に胸に
Oh.
まるで本当にそんなことがあったのか。
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, man! Wait! That is information!
その話をするよ。
And you have to listen and trust me. Yeah.
で、子がいてさ。
Wow.
Okay.
Wow,
I take
okay.
it very seriously, too.
Well, but he'll need her help at the mansion.
バルス、
なんだよ。今考え事して。
Okay.
お帰りなさいませ、スバル様。思ったよりもずっと早いお帰りでしたね。
Now you can watch her die with your own two eyes.
それ。
これはお揃いで。
Oh, pairs.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, all the head pats. And,
Yeah, he might just start crying.
Yeah.
よろしくお願いします。バルスと違ってわきまえている。合格にしてあげる。
Passing
Okay.
grade. Okay. Big sister.
You fail.
Big sister Ram. Okay.
帰ってきた意味がなくなる。緊張してるな。
緊張なんて。
いや、むしろしろよ。
She's in REM sleep.
Yeah. Deep Ram.
バルス、
I mean, she even looks like
Leave
you,
us,
right?
please.
少しだけ二人にしてもらえる。
Yeah. The way she asked it as a question rather
Yeah.
than just like a command.
お早いお戻りでしたのね、スバル様。
Okay.
She's already here. Okay.
それは
っていうか、血縁なんだろ。
ガーフから聞いたわけではありませんのね。
顔を見ればわかるよ。
Yeah.
Garf is of a very particular temperament.
何のためにお前は奇跡を使って転移の罠を仕組んだ。
スバル様、転移って何のことですの？可愛げのない子ですわね。ラムはもう十分可愛いの。これ以上は世界が危険よ。
Always.
転移のことを知らないなら、なぜバルスに奇跡を持たせたの？
Yeah. Why?
Right.
制約で話せませんわ、かしら。
Oh, shit.
Well, okay.
When did she get here? Just now? God.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
let's go. It's on.
All right.
Holy shit. Whoa,
Get out of here,
whoa.
Petra. Did that land? Oh, okay.
Ah!
Oh, shit. Oh, what? Oh no. Oh, no.
Oh, whoa. This is happening so fast.
Yeah, and you can bet those
Oh.
are poisoned or something.
Yep. Whoa.
Because she still doesn't remember.
Of course, yeah. Oh. Wow.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. God, I love the voice acting.
Oh my god. She gonna do a full transportation? Or transformation?
Yeah, probably.
They just fall out. Okay. Alright. Alright.
What?
Hold on. Is that
what?
Elsa?
Whoa, Chimera.
So Elsa's got friends. Lovely. Oh my god.
Leaving it outside.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Yep.
Yes,
Okay.
They hide.
Now go.
Oh, whoa.
This is where the poison sits in. Oh!
Ah!
Yeah. She cut herself doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, and then they swap them. Cool. Okay, but for now, be quiet.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Ram's dead. Her sacrifice was in vain.
Rocks fall, everyone dies. Holy shit, this is crazy.
So they tried to get her out of there.
Oh my god, this first person POV.
Yeah, it's
though.
fantastic. I love it. And then he dies, right?
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah. Is there anything past the arm? Nope. It's just that. Yep. Uh-huh. When we got the first person shot of him going through the window, at first I thought it was just his head, but yeah, why do that when you can do this? Oh, and he's still alive.
Flower bouquet. And we're back here.
Well, shit.
Oh, lovely.
Awesome.
Oh. Not as specified.
Interesting. Timed to your return. That's clever.
Oh.
Or he's gonna use the door.
Please tell me. Please tell me. Oh!
Okay.
Whoa!
Oh shoot! Yeah,
Wait!
he doesn't want to live here. He
Oh!
wants to die. So
Whoa!
it resets.
Whoa!
All right. Okay.
Whoa. We gotta check that out. All
Okay.
right. What a fantastic fight. What a fantastic just sequence of events.
Right.
Just quick
Here we
magic
are.
attacks.
Here
Just
we
everything going
are.
crazy with Elsa.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Elsa has orders
Uh-huh.
specifically sent to come in and kill the 2 maids and 1 shut-in.
Yes.
Now, what's interesting about this is that is based on the, well, Subaru shows up by himself. version.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So, which is
has
the
nothing to
previous
do with
iteration.
Beatrice, though. Just remember that.
Oh,
Not Beatrice, not Rem.
that's curious.
Yep.
That is quite curious.
Isn't that curious,
Okay.
right? 2 maids, 1 shut-in.
All right.
The 2 maids clearly have to be Frederica and Petra.
Yes.
Those are the
And
only 2 that are theoretical threats, really, here.
Right. And unless the shut-in is
On the
meaning
maid side of
Beatrice. Yeah.
Yes, unless
Like-
the shut-in is
like-
due to the fact that Beatrice likes to hide in her library.
Like, I don't think that's what it is, but
No.
I want to bring up the possibility that on a technicality, Beatrice could be described as a shut-in.
No,
but
yeah,
I
but
don't
that's
think
not
that's what
her.
it is.
Beatrice is a powerful mage, sorcerer
Who knows?
of some kind.
People might not even realize that Beatrice is here.
No,
One of the-
that's true, but the difference is that why is Beatrice not helping then?
Yes. That is a very good question.
See?
Because one of the things that's tough here is that there's this introduction of, okay, well, we can't necessarily trust Roswaal. We're not sure how much we can trust him because he has his own agenda and things. But then there's also the thing of, Frederica, right? She's trying to sabotage things. Okay. But wait, no,
not necessarily.
She's not. But this very clearly, since it was coordinated, someone gave Elsa information that, knew when Subaru would be showing up, right? In the previous iteration, which, if you think about that, that's kind of crazy because
Yeah.
the plan... Okay, this is... All right, I'm going to maybe go into a bit of crackpot theory territory here. But
Okay.
in this situation, Subaru leaves unexpectedly.
Right.
That information wasn't picked up and sent, right? Like of Subaru, that Subaru ended up going early.
Well, it doesn't necessarily. It could have been. She showed up early,
Well,
theoretically.
okay.
She showed up before he was supposed to show up in the timing side of
that
things.
is very true.
So no, I would say if anything,
right.
the fact that she showed up at this time shows that there is live info being passed along.
Yes.
Means that it's someone in Sanctuary.
Right. But that brings up an even bigger issue. She had information about when he was going to show up the previous time.
See, I don't think that that's necessarily the case.
Okay.
The reason why I think that you think
All
that's
right.
the case, right, is because she said 2 maids and a shut-in, right?
No, because it was supposed to be 2 days from now. And the Subaru actually deciding to leave, that was something that happened after this point in another iteration. So there would have been no reason for someone to have told Elsa in this timeline, go there 2 days from now, unless they either had some kind of crazy, clairvoyance powers that stemmed beyond the realm of time, right?
Yes. Okay.
Or they were someone from within the sanctuary that retained memories of events.
Yes, but
and
remember-
sent messages out.
Right, and I'm with you. I'm with you in that regard. But you preface this with this is crackpot theory time.
Right.
So just
Yes,
hold
yes,
it a little
totally.
bit loosely here.
Yeah.
The main point that was brought up that I think needs to be reconciled here is that if this is live data, why wasn't RAM included?
Yes.
In the list
Yeah,
here.
that is a great point. Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's, I think, the part that makes this more of a valid theory than the fact that the timing is a little bit off.
Okay.
Because all that you would need is just to have multiple people. Have one person say, plans changed, go now.
Sure.
That's all it would take. But the fact that her orders don't include RAM makes me also think that the data is not live because they would tell
Right.
They would tell him if RAM was there.
Either that or the task is specifically supposed to not include RAM. Like the person wanted RAM to be spared.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because RAM is not that not that low of a character on the threat list here. Like Petra.
Okay.
Petra. Why
no,
kill
yeah, that's
Petra?
a good point. Well, okay.
There's literally no reason to see her
okay.
as that important, really. And
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
The one reason why I was thinking that, and now that I think about it, it's totally stupid, but
yeah.
is if for some reason it was Roswaal, because
I don't think it's Roswaal.
But
here.
no.
It's too convoluted because you end up in a situation where Roswaal needs them to come over here,
yes,
so that they can have Emilia go through the trial, because his original goal with all of this is to set Emilia up in the place of
take the throne.
Authority. Yes, the throne.
Now
he needs then to get himself out so that he can help her with that. So he needs to convince them to come in to save them, even though there's a possibility that they might not be able to get out.
Right. And also so that way Emilia can be the one to get everyone else out, be the savior. Right.
Right.
Now,
that still is shady.
Oh, totally. Yeah,
so we can't fully trust him.
But not shady within the realm of sending Elsa to kill people at the mansion.
That is a different thing. Yeah.
Here's one of the other things that I want to bring up, and this is why I think the whole crackpot theory of someone having retained memories and stuff, and issuing them as commands to Elsa or using them, for that,
is because of the
is
Ram
not
thing.
as crazy. Is because of the Ram thing.
Yeah.
Because this is one of the things that I've really appreciated about ReZero is that it never went into montage of. And then Subaru died a cajillion times, and now we're here, right? It kept it so that each iteration had impact. He is dying and experiencing that each and every time. It is not something that he gets used to. It's painful, it's traumatic, it's awful, right?
Right.
But that also kind of avoided the potential issue of if you have thousands of iterations, you can then really see if there is absolutely no carryover as far as memories for anyone else, right?
Right. Okay.
Because it truly wouldn't matter for them whether it's the first time or the 1,000th time.
True.
In this situation, with something that had just been done once before, Ram reacted a little bit differently. There may have been some part of her that on some level remembered. Now, Ram is definitely, she's pretty badass and stuff. But I would assume that if there were to be someone that would remember even more, it would be someone with more in tune with magic, more some sort of Giga Brain character or whatever, stronger will.
Roswaal, for instance.
Roswaal, for instance.
Or any of the witches.
And that's why I'm a little bit hold on, what's the situation here?
Yeah, I think the obvious suspect just in general here is just Echidna. It's just the question of Echidna's ability to influence the world outside of her pocket dimension that she's in.
Especially since the checkpoint is right after he saw Echidna.
Yes, exactly. Which puts some serious sus in her direction. But we have no one else that we know of thus far that has been in contact with Echidna.
Yep.
Now, another thing that we have to keep in mind here a little bit is this idea of Frederica's oath. She is underneath some kind of a personal, magical, bounded contract that's probably not just her own honor at stake.
The ribbon around the neck, the whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah. There is something that is keeping her from being helpful here. We saw this, though, before in another character, Beatrice. Beatrice specifically had some things that she couldn't tell Subaru, but was like, hey, here's an in, here's a code word, here's some things that will at least get the ball rolling for you once you get to the sanctuary.
Okay,
and things will start to clue in for you once you're there.
And do you remember if that was ever something that was said to specifically be because of an oath, or because Beatrice was just being
she couldn't explain it. It was something where, it wasn't because of some magical oath.
Okay, right.
No. The thing with the oath, that is unique to Frederica.
But it is thematic similarities between her and Beatrice and that sort of situation.
Yes, it feels similar in that there's a bit of some indirect stuff happening there. And it's once he shows up with the gospel that she then starts to
right, and he tells her about how he killed Betelgeuse,
and she's like, oh, you've left me behind again, Goose, he's just basically that. Oh wow, okay. Now she basically says, I want to know what's going on. She's like, well, all your answers will be at the sanctuary. And if you want to find out about all these answers, they're all there. If you want them, go there. And then the Ma Beast the half beast girl can lead you there, I suppose.
Right.
And then she's like, I will not tell you. I have the right to refuse to tell you.
Right, because now she's pissed and all emotional about the whole thing with Goose. Yeah.
Yeah, and she wants to have just some time alone to think about that.
But yeah, the fact that Beatrice intervened in this episode in the way that she did, and in the ways that she didn't, that's That is very curious.
Yeah.
Because, like...
Which means that I think that this is something that is just such a surprise, maybe.
Yes, that could totally be it.
That it's just everything's happening in seconds.
Mm-hmm. And maybe she's pretty used to just sort of keeping cooped up in her library. Oh, and, you know, if it's an extra-dimensional space, she might not even hear the explosions,
she might not even
tremors,
hear it.
Whatever.
And
right.
also, it might just be a thing of where she's like,
they can handle
no,
it.
I could die.
Yeah, that too.
And or the secrets that I have in here are too much to let out of here.
I'm not going to go into something blind. That's not how I've lived to be, however old I am. Right.
You know what it might be? Mm-hmm. Let's think about this in that everyone we've met so far is good. Let's just assume they're all good here.
Okay.
What is the biggest thing that they could gain by all of this working out? It's Emilia overcoming the trials of the sanctuary, right?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Which means that she will essentially have gone through a leveling up process, and then they'll all come back with this new kind of leader, really, in Emilia.
Okay, yeah, trying to sort of suss out motivations for, like, who would stand to gain from this happening.
Right. Well, I would say just assume that they all stand to gain from this happening this way. Who then immediately that we know of, stands to not gain something by this, and I would say it would be the witch. It would be the witch of envy. She's got the got the power on Subaru, basically.
Right. She would lose her friend, basically, her potential confidant or whatever, or anyone else who talks to her. You know, they wouldn't know. They wouldn't keep their memories. Yeah.
Well, what are you talking about?
Well, theoretically, Echidna could have been talking to other people that were at the sanctuary.
Echidna
is
not the witch of envy. Or wait, is she?
Wait, hold on.
I'm talking about Satala.
Oh, Satala.
I'm talking about Satala.
Oh, yeah.
Who even is? Hold on.
Echidna is the witch of... Wait, hold on. Let's, bring back our notes up.
Echidna is the witch of greed.
Greed, that's right. That's right. I always get greed and envy
with me here.
confused.
Satala.
Yeah. Satala, yeah.
Satala, the witch of envy.
Okay.
She, at the very least, has a hold over Subaru through the power returned by death.
Yes.
So at the very least, she doesn't want, like, whatever's going on with Emilia to advance in a way that probably leads to her succeeding or something like that.
Or maybe she does, and that's why she wanted Subaru to have returned by death. So that way he could basically be the one that keeps watch over her future vessel, you know?
I like that. But that's too far reaching. That's
right. But she did give him the return by death.
Yes, totally. But that we haven't even encountered Satala, really. Uh-huh. So I think the immediate one that potentially gains or potentially loses something by all of this is Echidna.
Right.
If Echidna has not Subaru, in this case, go through the trials in some way, maybe it's something that doesn't help her get out.
Right. Or at the very least, in the immediate sense of if people leave, then she doesn't have the chance of keep talking to Subaru, you know,
or
like,
just
even if it's something as little as that,
right?
So she is the only one that really loses things by leaving the sanctuary, unless you're talking about the few people that want to stay,
right?
You know,
there are new characters that we've been introduced to that have no real hard way of proving that their motivation is what they say it is, and those are the characters like the pink elf girl.
Yes, that's right.
She is an old being, which is interesting in that we are like, oh, the conflict might go a bit grander, and we get into people who have been around long enough to when the witches were more prevalent, and they can give some good lore.
But we don't know much about her.
But we don't really know that much about her.
Which is very curious, considering
she was seen at that point when Subaru exited.
Well, yes,
but it was like a clone of her.
Yeah.
Because remember, the OP has that bit where we see a whole bunch of...
And they have, like, the white outfits and everything, and they don't have the cane and all that stuff. And
the staff, yeah.
Right. And that's what Subaru saw. Whereas the OG is actually in the sanctuary.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Okay. So... Subaru goes through a different iteration with Roswaal.
Which I loved, by the way.
That was one of the things I was most excited for, potentially, is him going through this conversation with him differently.
Oh, definitely. Because Subaru doesn't have magic. Not really. He's got Shamak and things like that. But
he could.
Sure.
Over time.
Sure. But for the most part, he's more or less a regular dude.
That's
right?
true, yeah.
Him interacting with a super powerful wizard, that inherently becomes an interesting conversation because the power dynamic is so skewed in the wizard's favor.
True.
Then, because of Return by Death, he now is trying to manipulate the wizard. Not necessarily for any grand ends or things like that, but he's using specific language to basically keep what he knows a secret and then get something out of Roswaal here, right?
Yeah.
That in general, I just love, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like the ultimate reverse cat and mouse, right? Where it's he is out of his depth, yet because of this very specific advantage that Roswaal doesn't know that they had that previous conversation.
Yeah.
He's got a leg up. How's he going to use that?
I really do think there's a possibility, though, that Roswaal is one of the people that's slightly more aware of what's going on if he can divine any kind of internal information from Subaru. But I want to say that Roswaal is actually very, like, I would say, almost has no sus, to use Among Us terms here, because of his suggestion to send Ram along.
Yeah.
Sending Ram along is basically like saying, hey, take my strongest fighter defender with you. She will go with you if you, talk to her about this.
Right.
And then, you will be able to suss out Frederica relatively well. But I think Roswaal might be thinking about this and going, I know Frederica's legit. I need to convince Subaru that she's legit.
So by sending Ram with him, Ram is able to do the whole thing of the negotiations will take you back by force, I won't resist, all that stuff. We only have to do this.
And they are so in sync.
Right. It's like, because Ram probably has similar oaths and things like that, where she can't talk about certain things just because...
Maybe with Roswaal.
Right, exactly,
stuff.
where it's like,
Maybe.
he maybe confides in her about certain things, but speak of this to anyone, yes? And she's like, of course,
Yeah. Does anything with Garfield seem to have that kind of strong, devoted loyalty? Because I think he is kind of that dog kind of like...
Yeah.
The
way that we got that interaction and that conversation with... how did I forget her name already? Frederica, yeah. That did seem to put him in a different light.
Yes.
Which makes
He's
me
her
wonder...
younger brother.
Yeah. But that makes me wonder why Beatrice said not to trust him.
Was it Beatrice or Frederica that said
it was Beatrice?
Oh.
She was like, just make sure that you don't trust Garf. Now, I like Beatrice a lot as a character, so I don't want to be sus of her. However, if we put up the list of things that would be suspicious if we didn't already highly trust Beatrice.
Right.
She had previous close associations with Guse, and apparently was sad that he died, so there was still some kind of potential close association. She said not to trust Garf, and turns out he might actually be totally trustworthy. Then, she also didn't help fight against Elsa and protect the mansion when Elsa attacked, and she was not on Elsa's list of targets. Yeah. Unless the shut-in means Beatrice, which would...
No way.
It's no way, but I would laugh hysterically.
But I want to bring up something that's a little bit odd about the orders.
Oh, yeah?
The orders were a shut-in. That is a real-world term.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it's Totsukidna.
Who in the fantasy world would say shut-in regarding Subaru?
Yeah, no one.
They'd be like, odd-looking boy.
Yeah.
Because he has the weird tracksuit.
Right, exactly.
On.
Oh, yeah.
So, if anything...
It's like 100% Echidna.
I think it's either 100% Echidna or it's someone related to Satella.
Actually, hold on.
Satella could have very much real-world knowledge.
Yes, that is very true.
Except Echidna just got a bunch, too,
I don't think it's Satella because that is something where, like, if she... Well, okay, I guess it could be, but if she already has this influence on Subaru, it seems weird that her own influence would end up being used to subvert her own influence,
Well...
assuming she's the one behind the Return by Death, which seems to be.
Oh, but, yeah, probably.
But
they could literally smell the witch on her. That's the whole point of season 1, expansion arc. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of the things, though, that is a potential possibility is that they didn't call him like a neat or something like that. They said a shut-in, and theoretically that could be something that would be a term in this world because there would be some equivalent, right? It might not be as prevalent or whatever.
But how would they know that?
Yeah, and how would they know that? Because Subaru hasn't exactly been a shut-in while he's been here.
Yeah.
So
maybe it's a translation thing. Maybe it's something where we know that it's someone who knows about his backstory, which means that it's probably Echidna or Satella.
Yeah. Also, one of the things that's curious about this, if the person who gave the order to Elsa had information from the previous time loop, but nothing past that.
Oh.
That could potentially match up with the Echidna, because Subaru, the save point was after he interacted with the Echidna. So she won't be getting any new information.
Yeah, nothing from all the new iterations will come through.
Unless she's talking to people that we don't know about, or she has ways to observe beyond her realm, right? She wouldn't actually be able to shift things around. Now, Elsa did show up after they got here. So maybe it's something where they were able to adapt.
A spy in the sanctuary in addition to that.
Sure, potentially. But the thing is that the trip from the sanctuary to the mansion would have taken a while. If she was going to be there in 2 days anyway, maybe she was just en route and wasn't able to get there too much faster.
This is part of the thing. This is part of the thing that I think is important to make note of here. The mansion is understaffed. It is filled here. I think that there is a very, very easy possibility that Elsa gets through the forest barrier or whatever they've got.
Yeah, they even specifically mentioned that Frederica was checking the barrier. Now, after that, she very quickly then was talking to Subaru, which makes me a little bit concerned about that. If there's any it could just be a time skip thing, not important, or it could be that maybe she wasn't actually really doing her job out there,
or maybe that part of her oath has her selectively being put under control to where she opens up the barrier.
Yeah, who knows, right?
We'll see. But the idea that Elsa had to be given these orders, but then showed up early. The only explanation as to why it wasn't a switch in plans all of a sudden because of live info means that maybe she has been in the mansion area for a while. Because there's the village, there's a whole bunch of, and she's just been hiding out, waiting for the time that she's supposed to do it. But then she gets info that he shows up, and she's like, "Whoa, wait a minute!
Yeah,
that's not right here."
And
that's why the Beast showed up this time.
Sure,
is that they needed extra reinforcements.
Totally. Yeah, it's possible that Subaru just didn't run into it last time, but But
because stuff had already happened.
You're right. But one of the things that is very important is that if she was waiting out here, right? Because the way the timing of this works, if she was getting live info, unless she was just going to arrive from far away at the 2 days from now mark, and that's why it would have been synced up perfectly. If it wasn't that and she was closer, I would have thought that by the time that they got there, if it was the person in the sanctuary, they could have alerted her immediately once that happened, and then she would be able to get in position, and then he wouldn't even get to see the people at the mansion. She would just kill them.
Who can leave the sanctuary?
People that don't have mixed blood.
Right.
But I think that if it's the case where she was lying in wait and she shows up after Subaru gets here, even if it's a little bit after, that means that the person would have been someone outside the sanctuary, probably someone in the mansion. In or around the mansion that could have basically been like, oh, shit, Subaru showed up. He wasn't supposed to show up for another couple days, which how they know that in the first place. Sketch. But yeah, I think it's probably Echidna. I think it's probably Echidna, and that's the whole situation there. But
God, the terror and intensity of we're back in the mansion, things are scary, we've got invaders here, and it's not just Elsa. There's a goddamn chimera freaking monstrosity here. And that thing does not look like some basic wolf dog mobbies from the forest.
Like the wolf dogs and stuff, it's like, okay, they did good with their part in the story that they were, right? But if people were to just say, oh, there's a mob beast in the mansion, I'd be like, well, then punk it. It's fine. Ram's taking those things out like nothing. Just a bit of wind and they, burst into blood, right?
Yeah, but this thing is like an elder mobby.
Yeah, this is you actually have to plan around this. You don't want to fight this.
It has magic immunities and stuff.
Right, exactly. Ram did her big attack on it, and it
pissed it off.
Yeah, it maybe blinded one of its eyes.
It didn't even do that. It just hit its snout, and it just kind of shrugged it off.
But there were a lot of things that happened in this episode that I really appreciated as far as the action went.
Yes, so quick.
One, the whole bit of Ram making the decision of no, we need to leave, and then Frederica being like, I'm going in. But then later, that first person perspective shot that we got, where basically, so cool. and I love how it basically tells us without, but it makes us figure it out of, okay, Ram came back, and and let me know if you thought it was something different. Ram came back, was like, no, you need to go. I just meant to lead it away so that I could come back and get you guys out of here.
Ah, right.
Ties them up, trusses them up or whatever on
the dragon beast.
The dragon beast, right?
Yeah.
Sends them off. Slaps its ass and it goes off running. Yeah, the ground dragon, right?
Yeah.
They're going, and it's like, oh, they're going to get away, right? Which is already bad in this situation because it's no, Subaru needs to commit and then either die or have it work, right? But she's looking out for his safety, right? Which could complicate things. But then, of course, it gets to them anyway, and Skyrim troll, or giant, slam, Subaru just goes flying with a bit of Petra's arm.
So the reason why I think they flew back there was actually twofold.
Oh,
this thing can fly. It had wings.
Oh.
It was a chimera style thing with the the lion, serpent's tail.
I didn't see wings on it when it was in the hall, but
it totally had wings.
It had wings.
Let me bring it up here. But my guess is when it it totally has wings there.
Okay, yeah. I thought those were just big ears or something.
That it picked up the ground dragon.
Oh,
they're attached
with them
to it.
on. Yeah.
And then it threw it off, and they went flying into the mansion. But that could be because this thing is also pretty intelligent. And it was sending them back to Elsa.
Sure, yeah. It's no one escapes kind of a thing, which I love. But then
it's
also,
terrifying.
I want to give shout out to actually Petra this episode.
Yeah.
I've never really liked Petra all that much in the show. Like she was fine, but
yeah, she seemed a bit forced into the story at the end.
Yeah,
of season 1.
Right, and it's something where like her whole shtick of like wanting to be grown up and stuff. Like there's that small part of me that's like, I know you're not going to do it, show, but don't do it.
Yeah. You don't need to say it.
Right,
Yeah.
but the conflict of a young person wanting to be older, wanting to be grown up, that's natural, right?
Sure.
Like it's the when will I be like one of those cool adults? When will my life start? All of that, right? Yep. And in this episode, we got a bunch of really cool things where, one, she was able to be supportive of Subaru in ways that she didn't expect because he's like, oh my God, thank God you're alive. I thought I was going to find your dead body maybe, right? So there's that. But then there's the whole thing of her also helping out Subaru when they're in the mansion, right? Being like, I want to help too, and then actually coming in and helping, pulling the thing out of his back, even though she cut up her hands to do it, right?
Yeah.
And the whole exchanging of like the cloths to tie up her hand and to tie up his back, that was great.
Yeah.
And then the fact that it gets used later for when she gets destroyed, and then he's just got the one cloth, right? And he's like,
he was holding her hand the whole time.
Because he was holding her hand the whole time. Like that was wonderful.
Yeah.
That was great.
It was very personal and emotional and strong. Yeah.
Because the whole idea of knowing that the kid in the show ends up getting brutally murdered, that's dark enough. But I really want there to be, like, it really helps for me when there's that extra bit of character focus on the kid.
Yeah.
So that it's not just, we're selling you on the edgy idea of this child gets brutally murdered, but it's no, we knew that child. Right? It's not just that there was a child that was murdered, it's that it was Petra that was murdered.
Yeah.
Right? So
it's a very, very good distinction to make.
Yeah.
And then it's sold extra by the Subaru first-person bit, very much like the Mace moment in season 1 where Rem gets him during the night, and he kind of like first-person zooms and looks down at his body all broken and twisted up everywhere, and then and of course, voice acting, always stellar in ReZero. It's one of the things that I feel like needs like all the appreciation. Just I'm sure it gets plenty. But it's one of those things where it can get overshadowed if people are just talking about the twists and turns of the story, and that the characters in general can be pretty good. So it's like, the characters are good. It's like, well, yes, the characters are good, but also voice acting. Like when it's good, it's really good.
Because we got to be sold on the horror of it every single time, even though we've seen a lot of it before.
And also because we don't really have as much stakes in the physical ramifications of a lot of it, because Subaru can just rewind it all by
What
dying.
about the ramifications?
Yeah, the ramifications, though, those are pretty severe.
Oh, by the way.
It can leave us blank with no emotion, not even any memory of that event even taking place.
Well, in that bit where we have Subaru tell Ram as they're heading back, and I love that as a way of, hey, they're traveling, so we don't need to show them traveling, we don't need to show the conversation.
Right.
He tells her what went on, right? And then we can have this little moment of just, no, they're not going to Beatrice first to get information.
No.
They're going to see Rem.
Yeah.
And then it's just
she needs to know. She needs to be sure.
And I can't remember. Did she call him Barusu or Subaru? But she did say, "Please leave me alone for a moment."
I believe she stuck with the convention.
I believe she still did call him Barusu, which still, that's absolutely totally fine. I love it when she calls him Barusu. But could you leave us alone for a bit?
Yeah, like let me make sure we get this part right, because if she called him Subaru, that's huge. But I believe she called him Barusu, because
or she might not have actually addressed him like with a name. Oh yeah, Barusu.
She says Barusu.
Yeah, but still, that was a request. Yep. We again got set up even in this episode how little it takes for her to basically put Subaru down. Right? Of like you're already consorting with another maid in the, like when he was talking to Frederica and stuff, right? All of that kind of thing.
Right.
But then here, no, it's just a sincere request.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wasn't Ram the clumsy one?
I don't know.
That was either too tired or something like that, just wasn't doing her work as much.
Yeah, she wasn't.
And Rem would take kind of.
Right, she was better at the magic, and Rem was better at the cleaning. But then she lost her powers, and now Rem is better at both.
Right.
Yeah.
And they made mention of that there. Petra's little thing of, and Frederica said, "I was better made, more even helpful than you were."
Yep.
That little moment was one of those that's a deep bite, because for this iteration of the story, because Rem doesn't exist.
Yeah.
She's
Rem has no idea about Rem, so it's just
all those ways in which Rem helped Ram over the course of time, and Ram helped Rem, which ended up building up her.
Yep,
that didn't happen. Nope. So that bit that hurt. That hit me in the kokoro. So yeah. But okay, Beatrice saves Subaru, but Subaru was going to open that door anyway.
Right.
So did he think? Did he act before he thought? Or did he end up doing something else? Because he did reach for the door. He
did reach for the door, and he was opening it. And he always was able to pick out which door led to Beatrice's library.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know.
But why? Why did you save me?
Yeah.
Oh, I cannot wait for this conversation now.
Right, because
we're going to learn so much from Beatrice here.
Right.
Or at least I hope we do.
Oh, I think we will. Mm-hmm. Because there's the literal aspect of Subaru was just trying to get some information out of Elsa before she kills him. Right. That way he has something for the next iteration, right?
Definitely.
But then it's Beatrice right here, but wait, she saved me, so now
Now I'm going to chew into her.
Right, I'm going to chew into her, but I need to make sure that this doesn't become the winning save point, because he already has things like with Rem where it just wasn't in the same area, so he can't reset that, right? Yeah, so he has to push through it.
Not
I can't have Petra's arm become canon.
Yeah.
That.
There's no way this is going to be something that removes his save point from before, though.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah. But I could see this being a thing where he then has to fight through Elsa and the Maw Beast every time to get back to Beatrice to learn more.
Oh, potentially, yeah.
Because he comes in with better ways to kind of get her to say things, because in the first iteration here, he's probably going to be like, you have a lot of explaining to do. And she's like, I don't need to explain shit to you.
I suppose. Yeah.
I suppose. And then knocks him out of the room or something. Mm-hmm. That literally could happen. And then he's like, okay. It's like, do I need to give some head pounds instead of head pats for this for this lolly wizard,
I may not have magic in the same realm as you, but I'm still bigger than you. Right. I'll throw a book at you.
I'll take my gospel thing and
Moscus. Oh God. But one of the things that
says you're a heretic.
Assuming that Subaru does end up dying and repeats right again, one of the things that we will have to keep in mind is, what is Elsa's response when she shows up? Will it still be something? Will it still be something of, you were supposed to arrive 2 days later, or will that have changed?
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you,
I'm feeling you, man. There's something there, but it's not as cut and dry, because there were no orders then with regards to Rem or Beatrice.
Nope. And if it is
curious,
if it is Echidna, what? How would they even deal with that?
Wait, I'm dumb.
What?
I'm dumb. Is there a possibility
that Echidna just doesn't know about them?
Well, who's Rem?
Oh, well, okay. No, yeah. So, yeah. No one would go after Ram, right? That's, oh my God. Yeah, right. And there is a possibility that no one really outside the mansion knows about Beatrice because she's
maybe a closely guarded Roswaal secret, basically.
Or a shut-in. Which, I know it's not going to happen, but I would love so much to have it be said in front of Beatrice that she was targeted and described as a shut-in.
Like, yes. I do like it.
So cool.
I do like it because one of the things that makes Beatrice one of my favorite characters in the mansion ensemble, basically, is that I see her and Subaru as actually being quite similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So hey, I love the theory. I love the goofiness of it, and
it's
also
totally not gonna happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this crazy episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
Yes, we stream every weekday. The info is in the description.
Yes, if ain't that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.